Will it skip a couple of days or what? I'm not sure. No, doesn't look like it. Are we gonna go for a long way to get to there or what? Phew, I'm tired. Look, I'm going back to sleep. After taking a bath, I crashed on the bed while my body was still hot. Wait, what? Did they just go into the next day, but it's actually the next day in the night when he's going to sleep? He skipped an entire day. The surface of the mattress felt cool and nice. If I fell asleep like this, I'd definitely catch a cold and my phone rang. I wondered who'd called this late. I saw Yukimura Anzu on the screen. I promptly pushed the answer button. Yes? Yeah, what's up? Okay. I was glad that she called me just because she wanted to talk. Oh, I think it's very normal. Then silence prevailed. Oh, why didn't you say something? And we didn't on-screen that because we couldn't be bothered, honestly. You're right. Maybe, but not really. It would have looked that way to other people. If it was before I went out with Anzu, maybe I'd have thought so too. But now I felt it was important to share time with her even when we were apart. I just got out of the bath and I'm lying on my bed. Ha ha ha. Awkward silence. I wanted to go visit her right away and see her with my own eyes and touch her with my hands. It was strange that I felt that way. I heard Sakura-san's voice from downstairs. Sakura-san's calling me. I'll call you back in a minute. Okay, thanks for calling me. Give me a call. Talk to you later. I couldn't help smiling when I got off the phone. The effect of the phrase goodnight was significant, I thought. You usually wouldn't say it to someone other than your family. When I started to say that to someone who wasn't from my family, it was a sign that something had changed within me. No, I'm up. I answered her and went downstairs. Have we seen her with this facial expression before? Sakura-san looked sulky and was standing at the entrance. She was dressed up as if she was going out. Could she really be going out now? Sorry, I was on the phone with somebody. Yeah. That's okay. What's up then? She disappears here and there in the freaking plot anyway. It's just like, I just thought I'd tell you this one time that I'll be leaving now for a while or something like that. I looked at the clock and it was already 9 PM. It was sort of late to be going out. Where are you going? Get together this late? Well, whatever, please be careful since it's dark out. Sakura-san proudly stood straightly, emphasizing her childlike appearance. I didn't think that at all. Off you go. Sakura-san suddenly fixed her eyes on me. Yes? Okay. Off you go. Sakura-san turned around and smiled faintly right before she stepped through the door. I was reaching for the lock, but I had second thoughts and opened the door as well. Sakura-san turned around because the door opened. Don't mind me, I'm just seeing you off. Off you go, for a third time! After Sakura-san left, I locked the door. I should go to bed. Seriously, how long do you have to wait till it gets to the crappier version of the ending or what? I don't know. It says there's another choice on the 25th, so I'm guessing it's one of those kind of slightly drawn out kind of ones. I woke up before the alarm rang. It was cold when I got out of bed. I shivered as I got dressed and went downstairs. Good morning. There was nobody in the living room. Sakura-san didn't seem to have woken up yet. Maybe she came home late last night. I didn't know when she got home since I went to bed early. Well, why don't I fix breakfast anyways? It didn't look like Sakura-san would be coming down this morning, even though I prepared breakfast. She should get up already, otherwise there won't be any time to eat. I decided to wake her up. Sakura-san! Sakura-san! Are you sleeping? There was no answer. Figures, I'm opening the door, okay? Excuse me. I hesitantly opened the sliding door because she might be changing her clothes. Oh? But the room was empty. Like, literally empty! That's weird, as she already left. No comment on... I looked... Where's the bed? I looked at the bed, but it didn't appear that she'd slept in at all last night. No, seriously, there is no bed. From this angle, anyway. How big is the room? Did she stay somewhere because it was too late to come home? If that was the case, she would have called me. Or maybe she didn't give me a call because she thought I'd be sleeping. Well, there's no use trying to think about it. Thinking's not a strong point. I looked at the clock. I should eat and get going. I decided to eat my breakfast and head to school. Otone and Yume were passing by as I left the house. Oh, morning, Otone, Yume. What? Leave me alone. Oh? That was what she meant. Yume tilted her head, worried. It's nothing. What's wrong with Otone? Otone looked even more lost in her thoughts than I did. Otone? You clearly know more about the plot than I, don't you? Yume shrugged. Oh, wait. It might be possible that Sakura-san met up with Junichi-san and stayed at the Asakura house. Hey girls, did Sakura-san stay at your place last night?
Sakura-san?
She hasn't returned home since she went out last night. She hasn't even called me, so I'm wondering what's going on. She said she was attending a gathering in the neighborhood. What's going on? Well, it's nothing overly unusual that we've seen in this plot, is it? She comes and goes randomly. And eventually we will find out where she actually goes. But all we know from this so far is that she's like not the best legal guardian, really. Just leaves without saying anything. He's just like, you had us worried sick. What'd you do that for? Just like, oh, it was important things, but I couldn't tell you at the time because you were too dense or something. Then where did she go? It's just like, did she say wandered off somewhere again? Like, it's just like, yeah, this stuff happens quite often. She comes, she goes, she comes and goes. She's here 1 minute, gone the next, and then she's back. And we don't even realize it. It's just so confusing. Sakura-san did have that habit, indeed. One time she suddenly disappeared and came back saying she was in America. Well, that's something. But when that happened, she usually either left a note or told Junichi-san about it. We never hear from him, though. She said she'd return, so I don't think it's that. This time. She looked like she'd come home when she went out last night. Even if she went on a trip, there wouldn't have been much transportation running around that time. You're right. I headed to school as you may have suggested. I feel like ditched Anzu's route entirely here. Nope, she's there. Anzu was waiting at the school gate. It hasn't been completely derailed. Anzu bowed when Yume greeted her. Yeah, see you later. I waved at the Asakura sisters as they went into the entranceway. I'm starting to wonder if this whole thing here has anything to do with Anzu's route in general, or whether it's like what you'll get, like this extra kind of stuff if you choose the wrong decisions or what. It's probably just towards the end of it, I imagine, that changes. Which means I'm probably gonna have to make another save file after all, isn't it? Unless I manage to, like, you know, record up to that point in one go. Yeah, sort of. Sakura-san hasn't come home since last night. Yeah, well, it's not rare for her to disappear for a while, but it's a little different this time. She actually informed him this time, so it felt very different. Seriously, she usually doesn't... What? Is this... No, it's just flashback. It's like, what the fuck? She's back all of a sudden? Well, that was random. I tried to remember how Sakura-san was last night. But she looked like she'd come home soon. Shoot, it's the first bell! Anzu and I hurried to the classroom. I thought she might call me on my cell, but Sakura-san never called, even during lunchtime. As a result, I couldn't concentrate on my morning classes. Why'd you do this to us? Which meant the teachers called on me often. Anzu and Akane were whispering to each other in front of me, but I just kept staring at my phone. Huh? Anzu timidly showed me a bag with lunch in it. You made it for me, but I didn't ask you yet, right? Anzu smiled bashfully. I see, thanks. Since I didn't feel like going to the store or the cafeteria, that really helped. Sure. I thought he was gonna say something like, no, get bent, you bitch. You'd be like, what? That's not something you'd say. Anzu said that she placed a bento box on my desk. You're right. I thanked Anzu for her consideration. Then...
ちょっと桜井、いい？
The class president asked me. Hmm?
廊下で水越先生が呼んでる。
The class president pointed at the door. Then I saw Miss Koshi-sensei beckoning towards me. Sorry, Anzu, go ahead and eat. Yeah, it's totally derailing from the Anzu thing now, isn't it? If this turns out to actually be a part of her route in general, I'm just gonna be baffled by it. It seems like less focus on her now and more focus on Sakura. Where the hell did she wander off to? Mr. Koshi-sensei took me to the courtyard. It's okay, what is it?
あのさ、桜井くんさ、学園長どこに行ったか知らない？
Or is it possible that because he said he'd get the gift at a later time, and then this stuff happens, that he forgets to get it all together, and so it ends up with a crappier ending? That's my guess. Eh?
ちょっと研究所の要請でさ、学園長に甘かせなことでいろいろ相談しておきたいことがあったんだけどさ、捕まらなくて。職員室の先生方に聞いても誰も連絡を受けてないって言うから、君なら知ってるんじゃないかと思ったわけ。
Nobody at school's received a call from her, either. I was gonna check with the teachers at the office, but it didn't look like I needed to anymore. Seriously, man. What the hell?
ってことは何？
Sakura-san hasn't been home since last night. I was going to ask someone in the teacher's room if they'd received a call from her later.
そっか、困ったな。
I pulled out my phone and tried ringing Sakura as quickly as I could. I didn't get an immediate answer. Beep.
吉野さくらです。ただいま電話に出ることができないので、ピーっていう発信音の後にメッセージを入れてください。
You know, seriously, when will you learn what the hell she does behind the scenes that we don't see? You better have a good excuse for this. You're worrying everyone sick here. Instead, all I got was her voicemail. I hung up without leaving a message.
どう？
It was a machine.
そう。どうしちゃったんだろうね。
Don't ask me, man. I don't know the plot. Ask someone else. But don't actually, no spoilers, as I've mentioned before. This is all kind of like, it isn't in the title or anything, but I haven't actually played all these routes, you know? Kind of my first time, you know, playing through it. It was the same case with Shuffle, essentially. Mr. Koshi-sensei looked worried.
いた、兄さん。
I suppose it makes it more interesting as the plot unfolds, really, isn't it? Because I don't know what's going to happen here and there. I can only predict. Yume saw me and ran to me. What's up?
先ほどうちに電話しておじいちゃんにも聞いてみたんですけどね。何も聞いてないって。
Okay. If Shinichi-san didn't know her whereabouts, it was more likely that something happened to her.
とりあえず今日は私も心当たりを当たってみますから、兄さんはお家にいてくれませんか？ひょっこり帰ってくるかもしれませんし。
Yeah, you're right, but do you really know the people who might know where she is?
それを言われると辛いんですけど。
So not even Junichi, the guy who has not appeared once in this visual novel so far, could get in contact with him, but not Sakura. Just like, whatever she is doing, it better have a good damn reason for it. Yume smiled wryly.
じゃあとりあえず私は行くね。何か分かったら知らせるから。
Thank you.
じゃあ私はお姉ちゃんのところに行ってきます。
Please. I should go back to the classroom then. I saw a familiar tail in the courtyard. It was Harimo. The dango dog. Harimo. Do you know where Sakura-san is? You're asking a dango dog. He looked somewhat worried. You're worried too, huh? Here, have this. I produced the daifuku in my hand and gave it to Harimo. Don't hesitate, you can have it. After Harimo finished the daifuku, I returned to the classroom. No, I don't have to go to the teacher's room. Now I don't have to go to the teacher's room. Yeah, he screwed up with his choices here and it led to... Well, maybe this actually goes with the plot in general, because I have no idea how it affects it. I just know that the choices when he's getting the gift, like, affects the ending. I'm not sure if it affects the route in general, though. According to Miss Goshi-sensei, the school hasn't received a call from Sakura-san either. Oh? I felt dizzy when I sat down, just a little bit though. Could it be a cold? Could it be plots? Or could it be from emotional stress? I was weaker than I thought. Anzu suddenly put her forefinger on her... I thought he was supposed to say, put her forefinger on her forefinger. No, forefinger on her forehead and closed her eyes. Now just picture, what if she had 4 eyes? She put her forefinger on her forehead and closed her 4 eyes. She was silent for a moment. Akane and Coco looked perplexed. Anzu? Anzu opened her eyes and shook her head. You can't tell why. Okay. That's right. Anzu heaved a sigh. What's the matter? I see. Thanks for doing that, though. Akane and Coco looked sulky. Sakura-san's been missing since last night. I didn't see a reason to hide it, so I told him what'd been going on. Of course, there was nothing they could do. Thanks. Anzu murmured worriedly. Yeah, but I didn't have any appetite even though Anzu had made me lunch. There was still no word from her. I shook my head while on the phone. I'd been waiting for Sakura-san to call after I came home from school, but she hadn't called. It might have been too much, but I contacted the police just in case. Yeah, are you free tomorrow? I just talked to Yume and Otane and we decided to search for her tomorrow in groups. Not really, but this is an island after all, even though it's not that small, so the possibilities are limited, right? Maybe somebody has seen her somewhere. Thanks. So, can you come over to my place at 10? You know who would have been useful to have around at the exact moment that Sakura left? Naka. For reasons that, if you've seen her out, will understand. Okay, see you then.
吉行、心配なのはわかるけど、あんまり思い詰めないで。
Thanks. Good night.
おやすみ。
I hung up and lay on my bed. I made Anzu worry too. Anyhow, where the heck did Sakura-san go? I couldn't help feeling restless. Why'd you do these things? I looked at the clock and it was already past 12. The music got sad for some reason. It meant that I'd been searching for over 2 hours now.
吉行。
It meant that this, I just don't know how to feel right now with this plot. I mean, it feels like it's less about Anzu and more about Sakura, and I'm not sure if it's pretty much part of the route in general, or whether it's the derailing of the routes kind of thing, or what.
ちょっと休んだ方がいいんじゃない？昨日寝てないんでしょ？顔色悪いよ。
Anzu looked worried. In fact, I didn't get any sleep because of how worried I was. But
休んで。
Anzu sounded forceful. She must be worried about me. You're right, I'll get some rest. I found a bench and sat down in Sakura Park while searching for Sakura. Oh. Anzu sat next to me. What are the odds? Y'alls haven't gotten any leads yet, huh? Wait, I'm crap at reading all of a sudden. Just like you are always kind of crappy at reading it, though. Shut up. On top of Yume and I, Suganami, Wataru, the set Sugeka, and Abikaze joined for the search, and we were looking all over the island. Except Otne had something else she needed to attend to. Even though we asked around, we hadn't found any witnesses, probably because it was late when Sakura-san left. The only lead we had so far was that someone saw a little girl who looked like Sakura-san walking towards the park at night. That was the reason Anzu and I were seriously searching around this place, but we still hadn't gotten any information other than that. Honestly, I'm overwhelmed.
見かけた女の子っていうのが園長先生だっていう保証もないしね。
I know, but I can't stop doing this. I wish that everybody had a good memory like Anzu, but it was usually vague. But according to the witness, the hairstyle, looks, and the height all matched the description of Sakura-san, so it seemed plausible. It was my only hope so far, so to speak.
でも、吉行根詰めすぎ。捜索願いも出したんでしょ？もうちょっと気楽に構えないと体壊しちゃうよ。
Anzu handed me a bottle of tea. Thanks. My phone suddenly rang as I was drinking the tea.
誰？
It's Yume. I answered the phone. You really need to change that ringtone, man. It just does not fit with the mood at all. Can you imagine if he, his ringtone ends up having a sad kind of piano melody like this now? He's just like, yeah, I just did that so it blend in with the atmosphere, you see? Yes?
兄さん、今どこにいるんですか？
We're in Sakura Park now. We're sitting on a bench.
あ、よかった。近くにいるから今からそっちに行きますね。
Are you sitting on a bench as well? Okay, did you find something?
すぐ行くから待っててください。
Yume hung up without answering my question.
なんだって？
She's coming here. She said she was close by.
あ、本当。
Yume came into sight right after the call. I guess she was sitting on a bench. Yume, we're here! Yume found us and sprinted over to where we were sitting.
よかった。近くにいてくれて。
What's up?
え？さくらさんらしき人が一昨日の夜、こっちへ向かったらしいって話を聞いたから。
We heard that too.
スポーツウェアを着てランニングしてた若い男性だった。がっちりした体格の。いえ、カップルでした。男の人は痩せ型で、髪の毛はちょっと長めだったかな。
Sounds like a different person then, so that means Sakura-san really came here?
断定はできないけど、その確率は高そうね。でも、なんで夜中にこんなところに。
Anzu looked around. If it was a couple or a jogging man, it'd be understandable, but I couldn't think of a reason why Sakura-san would come here. Hold on.
どうかしたの？
Maybe she went to the everlasting cherry tree.
枯れない桜？
That must have some significant importance on the plot. I mean, they're always going on about that. Well, not always, but... It's the everlasting cherry tree, for crying out loud. It's gotta be important, yeah. It was the largest cherry tree among the ones that were all over on this island. Sakura-san used to take me to the tree often. It was under that tree where Sakura-san and I met.
枯れない桜？園長先生がそこに行ったという根拠は？
There's no reason.
じゃあ、なんでそう思うの？
It was under that tree where Sakura-san and I first met, and it's the place where all my memories begin.
記憶の始まり？
I didn't remember much about what I was doing before I met Sakura-san about 10 years ago. I heard the cherry tree used to wilt before then, but at the start of my memories it was surrounded by trees full of cherry blossoms. Let's go there anyway. I got up from the bench and urged on Anzu and Yume. Then we started running towards the everlasting cherry tree.
兄さん、ちょっと待ってください。
I knew Anzu and Yume were following me. Maybe I should have waited for them. But I was haunted by a bad feeling that he had picked the wrong choice. I rushed to the tree. Then... hit a lamppost. No. Oh? I suddenly felt dizzy. Maybe he did hit a lamppost. No. Stop ruining the mood. What is this? I wobbled.
義行？
I thought I heard Anzu in the distance, but I was losing consciousness, so I wasn't sure if the voice belonged to Anzu or Yume. I couldn't stand anymore. I fell to one of my knees. I was breathing heavily.
兄さん、大丈夫ですか？
I felt something cold on my forehead. Was it a hand?
ひどい熱。
A fever? A fever means nothing. I put all my strength into my knees in order to stand up. My vision blacked out as if somebody had turned off a TV. I heard a thud. Was that the sound I made when I fell? I thought my cheek touched the cold ground and then I lost consciousness.